Shadow of Doubt, the Casey Anthony case. The girl from Orlando. Orlando, Florida, was a city of contradictions, sunshine, and shadow. Family theme parks, and the occasional headline-grabbing horror story. But in 2008, nothing could prepare the city or the nation for the case that would forever stain its reputation. At the center of the storm was Casey Marie Anthony, a young woman who, by all appearances, seemed unremarkable. Average upbringing, average education, a pretty face, a single mom. She could have been anyone. Born on March 19, 1986, Casey was the second child of George and Cindy Anthony. The Anthonys lived in a modest, single-story house on Hope Spring Drive in Orlando, a neighborhood with trimmed hedges and smiling neighbors. To most who knew them, the family seemed ordinary, even wholesome. George, a former police officer, and Cindy, a hard-working nurse, were fiercely proud of their children. But even from a young age, Casey had a complicated relationship with the truth. Teachers remembered a bright but distracted student, prone to excuses. Friends recalled her as fun-loving but manipulative, someone who could tell you something with wide eyes and a warm smile even, if it wasn't remotely true. One former classmate would later describe her as the kind of girl who could lie to your face and make you thank her for it. In 2005, just after her 19th birthday, Casey announced she was pregnant. The news stunned her parents, particularly Cindy, who had suspected nothing. Even more confusing was the fact that Casey refused to name the father. She offered various stories. Sometimes it was a boyfriend named Jesse Grund. Other times it was someone who had died in a car crash. The truth never came fully into view. Jesse, for his part, denied being the father, though he remained a figure in her and Kaylee's early life. On August 9, 2005, Casey gave birth to Kaylee Marie Anthony. The baby was beautiful dark eyes, soft curls, a contagious smile. She became the light of the Anthony household, especially to Cindy and George, who embraced their role as de facto parents. But Kaylee's arrival also deepened the strange rift in the home. Cindy began to assert more control over Kaylee's upbringing, and Casey, immature, drifting, and increasingly resentful, began to retreat from maternal responsibilities. Casey wasn't employed. She had no steady income, yet she claimed to be working full-time at Universal Studios, a lie that would eventually become one of the most infamous details of the entire saga. Every day, she would dress in work attire and leave the house, telling her parents she was heading to the theme park for another busy shift. In reality, she was visiting friends, partying, and staying at her boyfriend's apartment. And yet, Kaylee was always